Hey guys, it's Jenny here, and today I am going to be doing my September wrap-up. So in September, I was kind of still getting over a book slump, and I didn't get as many books as I really thought I would. However, I did stick to my TBR pretty well, and I'm pretty pleased with the books that I read. Although over half of them were rereads, I'm still happy with the two that weren't, and overall, I think I had a really good reading month because I had almost all highly rated books. I didn't have anything under a 4, so that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get into what I read in the month of September. This might go a little bit quickly just because I seem to do wrap-ups very quickly. But anyways, the first book I read in the month of September was The Elite by Kira Cass, if it'll focus. This was a reread for me. I decided to start rereading the Selection series back in August with my friend Danielle, and I just continued on. So basically the Selection is, I would say, it's like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. So 35 girls compete to be the prince's wife, and girls from all over the country from different casts, which are different number systems. It's like the classes system, except they're casts. So girls from all different social groups get chosen, and it narrows down. So I will say that this book is a little bit cheesy, and it's probably not for everybody, but overall, I just really love it. It's got a special place in my heart, because it was one of the first series that got me into BookTube. And I don't know what it is about it, but I just love this series a lot. So the next book that I reread in the month of September was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Oh, and I forgot to mention I gave The Elite 5 out of 5 stars. So this is the novella in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. This takes place after A Court of Wings and Ruin. So many people get this wrong, but it is a novella. It's short. The other books are one of them is almost 500 pages. The other one's almost 700 pages. The other one is 700 pages. So this one is short. It's only like under 300 pages. So this is a novella. It takes place in the Night Court with all of our favorite characters, just preparing for Christmas. It's like a fan fiction. That's how the author described it. She describes it as a fan fiction following her favorite characters just to give us some fluffy filler information. There is no real plot, and that's perfectly fine because this book gave me everything my heart needed after A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I just thoroughly love this book so much. It just strengthened my love for the characters and their bonds with each other. And obviously I gave this all of the stars. So next, I reread The One by Kira Cass. So this is the third and final book in the Selection series. I know there are 2 other books, but I consider those spin-offs and not really part of the series because they sucked. And this is the real gold of the series. So yes, this is the third book, and it's narrowed down to the final 4 girls. And I think this is my favorite one in the series, and favorite one, that's funny, just kidding. Anyways, I read this, and I loved it. I just love my rereads every single time I read them. They just get better and better, and now it just makes me realize why they're on my favorite shelf for a reason, I guess, and just strengthens my love for the books all over again. So obviously I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, so the next book that I read in September was a new read for me. I didn't reread it. It was a new read. And that was To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo. So this is a Little Mermaid retelling. It sets on this siren named Lyra. She's also known as the Princess Bane. She is the daughter of the Sea Queen, and every year for her birthday she takes a heart of a prince. Hence her name, the Princess Bane. Anyways, she does something to displease her mother, and her mother transforms her as a human and sends her on land to get the most important prince's heart. Enter Elian, who is the Prince of Midas, Midas. And he is a siren hunter, and he is the captain of a ship. He's a pirate, and they go on this adventure to, I need to make sure I'm not spoiling anything. So, yeah, I don't want to. So, he ends up rescuing a girl from the ocean. Her name is Lyra. And they go on this adventure in favor of something that I don't want to spoil. That's very vague. But they end up joining forces, and this is a really good book. I really loved it. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I'm a big fan of the enemies to lovers trope, and it gave me a lot of Cruel Prince vibes, except it was at sea. So this is like a really good twist on The Little Mermaid. It was like so spot on too. It was like so good. And I just overall really loved it. The character development in this was really, really good. And I wish it wasn't a standalone, but sadly it is. And I would highly recommend it to anybody who loves The Little Mermaid, The Cruel Prince, just books at sea in general, or about sirens. So, read that. And then the final book that I read in September was By Your Side by Casey West. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Casey West for a while now, and I've always been wanting to pick up her books, and finally I bit the bullet and picked up the one that everybody's been saying is one of her best ones. So I picked up By Your Side, and this is about a girl named Autumn who gets locked in the library on her way to a getaway weekend with her friends. She goes back into the library and gets locked in. Her friends leave without her, not realizing that she's not with them, and her whole extended weekend begins. So, flash forward, and a couple hours in the library, she realizes she's not alone, and the school's troublemaker is in the library with her. So, you know, it's cold, it's winter. Apparently everything is not as it seems with Dax, and they form a friendship, which tests its limits outside of the library when they finally get out. I really liked this book. I could not put it down. It went so fast for me, and I think Fluffy Contemporary is exactly what I needed. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason I marked it down is because at the end, things seemed to just go very, very, very fast. It was all very nicely paced, and then it was just like, boom, done. But that's the only thing that marked it down. I really, really liked the mental health portrayment, because our main character has anxiety, and it was very, very good. I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I loved their bond and relationship, and I just love the characters in general. So, overall, I was very, very pleased with this month's reading. So, yeah, not as many books as I would have liked to read, but hey, it's still something. I got 2 more knocked off my TBR, and I got 3 more reread. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for my October TBR.